Welcome to Whiskey Movie Club, our Halloween special. We're going to be talking about our favorite Halloween movies that aren't on most people's lists. We're also going to be drinking The Slow Crawl to Death, a modern tiki classic. All right, so this is our Halloween special. Halloween is my favorite holiday. I love everything Halloween. The movies, the cool songs, the weather, just dressing up. I mean, Halloween is a DIY holiday, which is something I really like. So yeah, we're talking our favorite Halloween movies, and we're drinking a Halloween-themed tiki cocktail called The Slow Crawl to Death. It has Irish whiskey. It has 2 types of rum, lime juice, bitters, and maple syrup, which is kind of fitting for fall. I don't know. I think about
maple, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of...
It's a leaf.
Sure.
Yeah, and there's leaves on the ground.
Yeah.
But we're going to be talking our top 3 Halloween movies that we think about or that we go to every Halloween. Travis, why don't you start us off with your top 3?
My top 3, Paranorman. I'm a big sucker for animation, and stop motion has a real special place in my heart. I just love the way it looks. And although I think Coraline is the better film out of Laika's,
why do you like Paranorman?
Paranorman feels a lot more. It gets me a lot more into that kind of Halloween spirit with, all the ghost and the witch like storyline, and I love kind of an old Salem witch hunt sort of story. And it's just fun. It's just a good, fun, like kid adventure flick. And then again, I just love stop motion animation. It's just
it's got kind of a creepy look to it, but it's still very like kid friendly.
It's very good. I also put John Carpenter's The Thing. I absolutely love that movie. I love the tension in it, the feeling of isolation out in the Arctic Research Center, and then just Kurt Russell going around the scene with the blood test and trying to figure out who's infected among the crew is just fantastic.
Well, I haven't watched it in a really long time. Does it still hold up today?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. I watched it just last year, and it still holds up.
Yeah. And then I also put Shaun of the Dead on there. Even though I could watch any of those movies pretty much any time of the year, they're not specifically a Halloween theme to it. I love Edgar Wright's editing through that is hilarious. With Simon Pegg and Nick Frost is just perfect throughout the film with their dynamic between the two of them and the friendship. You really feel the friendship through the characters because they are friends in real life. A lot of just real smart comedy in that movie. I love smart comedy.
It's a brilliant screenplay. So those are the top 3 that you go to every Halloween.
Yeah, again, I could watch those at any time, but if I'm in the Halloween spirit, I definitely get more excited to watch any of those movies.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Cool.
And the newest member of the Whiskey Movie Club.
Yes.
Summer. What are your go-to Halloween movies every year?
Well, like Travis said, it's hard to narrow it down, and it'll probably be changing constantly. But the top 3 that come to mind is the very first Hostel, because that movie messed me up when I watched it. That's a good one. Super good, super scary, and I watch a lot of scary films, and that one actually scared me because it feels real. Like that could actually happen.
It probably does happen. There are definitely like murder clubs.
Well, Eli Roth was actually going to do a documentary on murder clubs. He wasn't going to make it into a film. He wanted to do documentary. And as he started researching that, he found out that he could probably get killed by digging up too much information. So he just switched to make it into a screenplay instead.
I love that movie. I think that there's a shot in there that stands out that like it's stuck with me since the first time. It's the ankle shot.
The Achilles?
Yeah, where he snaps the dude's Achilles heel and he doesn't tell him and he lets him go.
That was horrible. That's the guy that gets the drill to the chest too. So he's just like torturing him endlessly. Yeah, that one was rough. The one that got me was the eyeball, the blowtorch to the eyeball.
Oh yeah. That's with the the gal, right?
Yes,
yeah.
And then she gets out and she manages to live through it, and then Jay Hernandez's character snips it. Oh. I literally almost threw up. It was so gross.
I think that was
the goal
of that movie was to induce vomiting.
Right. Yeah. But it was done really well. The effects were done really well.
Yeah, it's gross and disgusting and amazing.
Absolutely.
That's a solid pick.
Thanks. I thought so.
Do they get nicer from here? Are they more family friendly after this?
I do have a nice one. Little Shop of Horrors with Rick Moranis.
Oh, so you're going for the Rick Moranis one, not the Jack Nicholson one.
Not the Jack Nicholson one. Mm-mm.
No, I mean the Rick Moranis one is the better of the 2 movies.
I agree, and I love Steve Martin as the maniacal dentist. Mm-hmm. That was really great. And then I also just like the idea of this like total nerdy loser guy that has a kind heart murdering people with a giant plant.
Do you do a good Feed Me Seymour impersonation?
No, but I did play Audrey in the stage production of Little Shop.
Really?
Yeah, so I do a good Audrey.
That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that would be my second pick.
Yeah, that's a hard departure from torture porn.
Yeah, I mean, but well, you asked for something nice, so I offered something
Well, I wasn't
nice.
listening. You could have said something horrible. I would have been fine.
Well, I mean, I got another one.
Okay, what's your number 3?
I don't know if I want to share it now.
Then
I
don't.
feel like you're judging
Jason,
me.
what are you watching?
Let's see here. No, go ahead.
No, it's okay. It's fine. It's no big deal. But also, it's The Devil's Rejects.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
love
great.
a Rob Zombie film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we're sharing that a little bit. So,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
you did House of a Thousand
No,
Corpses. Ooh,
we're,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I didn't spoil yours.
Because you didn't know it. Sorry.
Not untrue.
They're like, the
So-
noob needs to go.
The Devil's Rejects.
The Devil's Rejects. Yes.
Why do you like The Devil's Rejects? Because I think it's safe to say that is a really fucked up film.
Absolutely.
And most people I know who like it, people such as myself, who there's something broken inside their head. Like you're twisted.
I'm an actor and a writer. I am broken all around.
And you joined us in this locked room.
Yes. Yes. Although I didn't know about that part until after. Like
It's going to be okay.
Okay, perfect. I love it because I think it's a good, they're a close-knit family. They really support each other. I mean, they are. They're
The
but
family
if you
that
really
kills
think
together.
about it, yeah, the core essence is they will do anything for each other.
This is true.
Yeah.
And they'll do anything with each other.
Yeah. I just thought that was a cool perspective, to be honest.
What I liked about that movie is like after the first time I watched it, I felt like icky and dirty and just ugh.
Oh, yeah.
But that was the goal of Rob Zombie. It was like that
Right.
was the intent. So I watched a couple comedies after and then finally got to sleep. But it was
good.
yeah. It served its purpose.
Yeah, I agree. And then I think the whole end where it's like they're going out to Freebird, it's like cool.
Yeah, Rob Zombie movies are undoubtedly super cool.
Yeah.
He's got a distinct style, kind of like Tarantino has a very distinct kind of
Right.
dark. It's more style than substance in a lot of ways, but it's just hella fun.
Yeah.
And just looks so fucking cool.
That's why I like it. I think aesthetically it's just freaking cool. Like I just like coolness.
It's a movie made by a rock star.
Definitely.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with that. Because it's actually true. But
In
I
that vein,
also
let's have a toast to Sid Haig, who just died recently too.
Oh, yeah.
R.I.P. Yes.
Yeah, that was so sad. Because he makes, those
Yes.
movies.
The names we will not name.
All right, Jay. Other Jason. Jason 2.
Jason number 2. My films aren't that dark.
That's okay.
I like
really judged right now.
You
just
judge.
for the record.
So I think my list has both the stupidest / softest and one of the darkest.
Okay.
So you won't be judged too harshly.
Oh, good. So I'm going to build off the Shaun of the Dead that you brought off because I do love that movie. But if you back up a little further, the Evil Dead series there's a big influence from Sam Raimi's films into Edgar Wright's
But the
films.
difference is that when he was making Evil Dead 1 and 2, he didn't mean for it to be a comedy.
No, he didn't. He didn't. And I remember seeing like behind the scenes documentary type thing or maybe director's commentary. Like there was a point where the director of photography didn't know what frame rate he was shooting in. They were changing it so much he just didn't know. And there's a lot of weird quirkiness with that way that movie was filmed, and he was able to I meant to be.
Yeah.
I love a lot of the behind the scenes kind of stuff you get from the first Evil Dead movie where they were like, we didn't have a dolly, so we just got like some wheels and like piece of cardboard, and we just like pulled a guy on the cart.
It's like a Rodriguez style kind of set.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The other film on my list that's kind of a new classic is Tucker and Dale versus the Evil.
Great one.
It's so much fun, and it's that same, kids go in the woods, and it's that same slasher film, but turned from another point of view, and I really dig
Fantastic
that.
subversion of the
Oh, yeah.
slasher trope.
I mean, this is, I think, out of all the movies we're going to be talking about, I think it's one of the movies that I don't care who you are, you have to watch every Halloween.
Yep.
It's
Right.
it's very funny, it's suspenseful, and if you don't really know anything about the movie, you have no idea what's going to happen. And shit happens that is super unexpected.
Definitely.
I watched it again just 2 nights ago.
And it's on Netflix too.
Yeah.
So as of recording, it's on Netflix. And if you have a Netflix account, you should watch it. Even if you've seen it 100 times like we have.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In another film that's on the camp, I think I prefer the campy stuff a little
Clearly.
bit. Obviously, some of these they're moving around constantly, but I'm going to go with Slither. That's what I watch around Halloween. I don't watch it any other time of year.
That's
but I watch
James Gunn, right?
James Gunn. I think Nathan Fillion and I'm drawing a blank on the actor.
Elizabeth.
Yes, Banks.
Yes, Elizabeth Banks.
It's just kind of a fun film with these little slug things that are coming at you, and it's a
almost to B movies essentially.
So like Tremors.
It's very much like
It's
Tremors.
like,
Like Tremors.
oh my
yeah.
god!
Yeah.
We were talking earlier about forgetting movies. That was a movie. It's not on my list, but it should be. I grew up watching that so much.
Leonardo
It was on CBS every
DiCaprio
week.
was in, what was it? I think he was in the second one in Tremors.
Was he?
Yeah, he was
I
in
haven't
one
seen
of the
second
Tremors.
one in a long
I
time.
think so.
Hold on.
I could be
There's like
wrong.
5
Can we get a
Tremor
fact
movies
check, please?
6 now.
I think that, I'm
There's
pretty
one
sure
with
he was in
Snow
one
I
of
just
them,
watched recently.
or maybe I'm thinking of Jonathan Brandis, but I'm pretty sure it was Leonardo DiCaprio.
Quick fact check.
Oh, we're
You didn't
IMDb
want to
this
go
shit.
to Tremors? You went to
But
Leonardo
there's so many.
DiCaprio and you're
There
gonna
are
go
so
through
many
his
Tremors
filmography?
movies
Right.
that like because it might not be 2. It could be 3, 4, or
true.
5.
Fair.
That's what I'm thinking. It might be 3, actually.
And so he would have been young. So we just go to the beginning of his career. Outsiders, Santa Barbara. He was on an episode of Roseanne. Critters 3.
Maybe I'm thinking of
no,
Critters.
Poison.
Maybe I'm thinking of
Yeah, I think you're
Critters.
thinking
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he starts doing. Oh yeah, he was in The Quick and the Dead.
yes.
God, I love that
Raimi.
movie.
That was a fun one.
His death is
This
so
is
sad.
where we go on the
Yeah,
tangent.
Spoilers:
Yeah.
he dies
Dad shoots him.
in a duel. Not a duel. What do you call him?
It's a quick draw.
Quick draw. Yeah, it's a. God, that's a good movie.
Okay, well, I stand corrected. It was
Was that
Critters.
really?
Yeah, it was Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that makes sense with the weird like shots of the clock. He goes Dutch a
There
lot,
are some weird like editing choices. I still love
but
it.
it works.
Oh yeah, it's great.
I mean, it's very 90s.
oh, it's very 90s.
So are those your
Weird
those your
aside
3?
about the quick and the dead.
Oh, you got- yeah, who expected that? Because it's neither scary or spooky. So
It's just
Western.
a fun western.
Yeah.
Right.
God, I forgot
Sharon
about.
Stone's a badass.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And who plays the priest guy?
Russell
Western.
Crowe.
Russell Crowe. That's
We'll have to
right.
do a Western-
Like a
special.
Western theme one would be really cool.
A Western themed.
Whiskey movie club.
Movie club. One of these days.
Like good Westerns.
Absolutely.
That would
Yeah,
be amazing.
Absolutely.
genre.
Yeah.
I love westerns.
Me too. We can talk about Shane, but I digress.
Your
get there.
real quick, favorite western.
I
No
mean,
wrong
I
answer.
just said Shane.
There's wrong answers.
That
Shane.
is right. Yeah. Have you ever seen that? It's super old.
It's been a long time. Yeah.
It's a really
of
long
course.
time. Yeah, I love that
Shane.
movie.
That's a good. That's a
When
good.
does he die at the end?
I don't remember. It's been a while.
They leave it ambiguous.
Yeah, but there's a big argument in the movie The Negotiator about throughout the movie where they're trying to talk.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Okay,
We'll discuss more.
More. Okay.
so you're full of camp.
I'm full of camp. I have other ones on my list that aren't as campy, but those are ones I tend to watch around Halloween a little more. There's other ones I can watch other times of the year.
So you look for fun.
I do.
Yeah.
You're waiting for a break to say something.
No, I just think that we totally skipped a really good one, and it might be on your list, but it might not be. So I'm gonna wait. Yeah.
Well,
And we'll come back.
Yeah.
to
if it's a good choice, I'll pretend like it was on my list.
It's a good choice.
What is it?
Saw, the first Saw.
Oh, Saw's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
No,
first one's really
yeah, the first one's fantastic.
That's
They
like
started
the
going,
well, yeah. That's why I said
like-
the first one.
Yeah.
Because once you see, it's like with the Hostels.
Yeah.
After you see the first one, the other ones are
You
like
got the
whatever.
premise.
Yeah.
Yeah. They made too many Saw movies, but the first one's fantastic.
Yes.
That was not on my list. It should have been. But okay, so my list.
Yes.
I'm kind of all over the map, and I'm going to start with the campy and then go into darkness from there.
Okay.
So yes, the first movie is one I grew up watching a lot. It's The Ghost of Mr. Chicken
Yes.
with Don Knotts.
Such a good movie.
Oh, it is ridiculous. It is painful. It's if Don Knotts was Barney Fife in the Andy Griffith Show, and he's playing basically Barney Fife in The Ghost of
his
Mr.
only
Chicken.
character.
But yeah, I don't know if he was like that in real
I
life.
haven't seen it since I was a little kid.
Same.
Now he has to stay in a house.
Yes, so he's a typesetter at a newspaper,
Yeah.
and he desperately wants to be a reporter. And without giving too much away, he ends up getting his chance to write a story, but he has to stay in this haunted house. and it doesn't go well. He sees ghosts. The piano plays. It's the most terrifying experience of his life. He runs out, and the movie just kind of devolves from there. And it's Don Knotts just being Don Knotts. It's painful. It's awkward. He's kind of like the Zach Galifianakis before Zach Galifianakis. Like it's all like self-deprecating. He's a lot more nervous. Like Zach Galifianakis is like if Barney Fife smoked a lot of dope.
Right.
But it's very like you're awkward. Like
Yeah.
I mean, most people have seen Andy Griffith's show before, right? That's still like in the cultural like zeitgeist, right?
It's like Nick at Night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah,
it's
it's Barney Fife with ghosts.
pretty much.
What the fuck else do you want?
Yeah.
And it's family friendly, so
Very
if you have
slapsticky.
kids, yeah, it's super slack. It's probably G-rated. I didn't look, but it's got to be.
I think so.
So yeah, that's my number one. That's my first one. We're starting soft.
Very.
Second one, it was going to be House of a Thousand Corpses, but we're covering the slasher, torture porn type stuff pretty well. So House of a Thousand Corpses was actually tied with The Conjuring. No one's touched on any supernatural
one's
movies.
really good.
And not
Yeah.
only did it kick off, the Conjuring cinematic universe, but it is modern day classic. It is terrifying. It is done near perfectly. I love that movie. I watch it every Halloween. I watch it even in January. I don't think
You
I
have those winter blues.
I mean, it doesn't make me sad. It makes me happy.
You watch it because you are sad.
This is
Right.
true. That's
It
a good
cheers
point.
you
It does
up.
cheer me
Yes.
up. Yes. Yeah. Demons and
Yeah.
exorcisms. Okay. So my third movie kind of bridges the campy and the terrifying. It's a modern classic. It's a Netflix movie.
Oh,
The Babysitter.
yes, you were talking about
I
this before. It's
love
real
this
good.
movie. I watch it too much. I watched it last night again. It is really, really fantastic. It's on Netflix. You need to watch it. Just to clarify, I'm not talking about the 90s movie. This just came out on Netflix, I think, last year. It's
A year or two ago?
Is it 2 years ago? Yeah, 2017. And it stars Samara Weaving, Hugo Weaving's niece, I believe.
Interesting.
She starred in one of my new favorite horror movies that just came out last month that we reviewed. Link below. Ready or Not.
Ready or
She's
Not.
the Margot
So
Robbie
good.
twin, basically. Like, Babysitter is just as good as Ready or Not. Different movie. She doesn't necessarily play the heroine, right?
Heroine, yeah.
In it, but it is so good. It's bloody. It's funny. It's got kind of like an Edgar Wright style to it. It's absolutely fucking fantastic. So another really great Netflix horror movie, Netflix original, is The Ritual, about some British hikers who take a shortcut through the woods and they encounter a ancient beast living in the woods, worshipped by locals. That was a really bad a way to describe the movie.
Actually, I think it's fairly accurate.
It is pretty accurate, but like I don't think I did. Like you gave me a nasty look when I said The Ritual. I really liked it. What's your problem with it?
I don't want to give anything away because I want people to watch it. I think the lead actor is phenomenal.
Yes.
I think my problem with it is the beast.
What?
Yes.
Sorry, I think I just peeked my mic. The thing is terrifying.
You think that's terrifying? I actually laughed when I saw it. I actually audibly laughed out loud when I saw the beast. I was like, that's the beast. That's what's terrorizing everyone. Yeah. Just my opinion.
Wow. Okay. I think it's time to move on.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Notable mentions, Jason.
Ghostbusters is always good.
Absolutely.
Good, nice, fun one, but that's one you can watch anytime.
Oh yeah, you're wearing a Ghostbusters shirt.
Ghostbusters.
Alien, the first one.
Oh, so good.
You know, there's so much tension and so much like you don't always really see the monster, and it kind of creepy, and it's the
Feeling of being stuck.
you're stuck. You know, it's like kind of a submarine movie. You're in space. You can't get out. You can't leave. You can't run away from it.
Right.
You just have to deal with it.
All the Alien movies are great. Not the Alien vs Predator movies, but
Sure.
I mean the
At least the first three.
sorry, yeah, I don't count Prometheus,
Prometheus.
and there was another one, right?
Resurrection.
Yes.
Oh yeah, nah.
That's
Big
like
difference.
talking about.
Predator
Alien
versus
3 had production problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was
1 and
it's
2
fun.
was fine. I mean,
It's okay.
Alien and Aliens.
Yeah, well, 2 was directed by David Fincher.
Fincher, that's right.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Speaking of David Fincher, the Silence of the Lambs. It's pretty fantastic.
Oh, that is a good one.
That's a good
Yes,
one. Yep.
yes.
So good. Just masterclass on how to conduct the scene where Clarice is talking to Lecter, and they're having this power dynamic struggle between it with just the A/B shots between
Fincher
them.
didn't direct.
Is it not Fincher?
No, it's.
fact check me. Who did this?
Who did the slow crawl of death? That's who did it.
Excuse me.
What scene are you talking about? Sorry, I'm putting B-roll over all.
Just when she first goes to talk to him.
Like in the glass room?
Yeah, in the glass.
Jonathan Demme.
Jonathan Demme. Why did I get David Fincher?
It's a very similar style. So like,
Yeah.
they both have a very like Fincher is very disconnected from his characters and the way he photographs them.
Sure.
And it's just very kind of like how do you describe it? It's weird. It's sterile, and I think Silence of the Lambs does something very similar. It feels very cold. All of Fincher's work is cold, and I don't mean because all his shit is blue. Everything's blue and
but
green.
there's a clinical kind of like.
It just feels very like the character, the camera doesn't have a perspective. It doesn't have an opinion. It's just watching the horror unfold. And like Fincher's movies, they're all creepy and weird. Even like the ones that aren't supposed
Zodiac.
to be. Oh my god, that didn't make the list either. And
Yeah.
the scene where what's his face is getting told to go down to the basement. So fucking good.
Most houses in California don't have basements.
Yeah.
This one does.
Are you guys watching Mindhunter?
Oh, it's so good.
Yes.
I haven't watched the second season yet.
Watch
The
it.
first season's real good.
It's
We just powered through it.
it's brilliant.
Yeah. I just had one more to add, and it's kind of an oddball out there, but Attack the Block.
Oh,
That's,
You know, the aliens out there, and it's
That brought us John Boyega.
John Boyega.
Yeah.
And the new current Doctor Who is in that as too.
yeah. She
Oh,
plays.
yeah,
She's the nurse.
She's
nurse.
the one that they
Yeah.
harass at the beginning, and
Yep.
yeah. Attack the Block, that didn't really do that great in the United States.
It
It's
didn't
kind of
really
a-
didn't. It kind of did better on the video circuit. So,
I was waiting for it to get remade in the United States and take place in like South Central.
Attack the Hood.
I think they
yeah,
called
exactly.
it Bright, and it was terrible.
Oh yeah, yeah. Bright was
real
has
bad.
So much potential.
It'd have been a great series.
I agree.
Some world building in there.
Was that the Will Smith one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was.
I'm like, it's Will Smith, guys.
Yeah.
That's fair.
He has his
All right. Well, I mean,
Honorable mention, Summer.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
ooh.
Love that film. And then another Rodriguez film for me, one of my all-time favorite zombie films ever is Planet Terror.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
a fun one.
I mean, it's a
That one's
badass heroine with a machine gun for a leg, killing zombies. I love it.
I have nothing to top that. I think my notable mention was going to be The Adventures of Ichabod, but like,
It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
you know what? I can't get into
Nightmare
those.
Before Christmas.
I love that movie,
Actually,
but
I do love that
it's a
movie.
Christmas movie. Thank you very much.
I had a very in-depth discussion with someone the other day that said I allow watching that movie midnight October 31st.
I
That's
love
the
Christmas.
start of the movie. They're like,
But
that was a
yes.
good Halloween. Now let's do some other stuff for next
Right.
year. And Christmas gets in the way.
So
As it does.
yeah, I think this summarizes our favorite Halloween-ish movies. If you liked what you saw or you didn't, just please hit subscribe. It makes us very, very happy. And if you hit subscribe, we'll let Summer out of the room.
Please, you guys, hit subscribe. I don't want to die
Otherwise,
here.
she's going to be chained to a chair and fed cat food
Ugh, I don't even
for a
like
while.
cats.
Travis, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Captain Frucci.
Captain Frucci.
And you can find me at JD Night Films on all platforms.
And Summer?
And you can find me on Instagram at Summer Herabedian.
And you can find me at Real Jason Miller on Instagram and Twitter. This is Whiskey Movie Club. Please hit subscribe. Check us out on social media. Links are below. Please comment. Let us know what
What are your Halloween movies?
which ones do you love and which are the
go-tos.
ones that we get wrong. Like, do you not think The Ghost of Mr. Chicken is one of the most fabulous Halloween movies? I'll fight you on it. I'll tell you where I live and we'll duke it out.
Yeah. Talk to us about why you also think Hocus Pocus is a terrible movie and it's overrated.
I'm so glad it didn't make any of our lists.
I almost threw in The Craft just to be a turd.
Oh.
But I do actually kind of like it, but also just to be a turd. Yeah.
I'm sorry you sat through all this bullshit. So we've been drinking the Slow Crawl to Death, a modern tiki drink with Irish whiskey. It calls for Redbreast 12-year, which we love. One of our favorite
favorites,
whiskeys we have on the show. 2 types of rum, some fruit juices and maple syrup. I think it's the perfect drink for Halloween. It's not one of those weird drinks you see on Pinterest with shit boiling out of it and fog and whatnot.
A large lack of pumpkin spice.
Yes. Maybe next week I'll have a pumpkin spice whiskey.
Ugh. I'll be conveniently not available.
Yeah. If she's not scared away by now, that's how you know she's locked in this room.
This is my own personal horror movie right now. That's what's happening.
So, the only way you could freeze Summer is by hitting subscribe below. If you don't hit subscribe, she's going to be living in here forever.
I might just punch myself out a window, but
So, yeah, until next time, here's to swimming with bow-legged women.
That's another good horror movie.
why am I cheersing to that?
He says it almost
I
every
know.
episode.
It's
I
been
understand.
I
I'm just
stopped
being a
saying it
smart
because
eye.
they thought it was.
Well, they made fun of you last week too for
Yeah,
saying
I think
it.
it's a good, like sign off, right?
Yeah.